Imagine standing at the edge of life and death, where the veil between worlds grows thin. Here, in the shadows, stands Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god of death, his presence both feared and revered. With the head of a jackal and the wisdom of the ages, Anubis has guided countless souls through the mysteries of the afterlife for millennia. But who was this enigmatic deity, and why did he hold such a pivotal role in one of the world's most fascinating civilizations? In this video, we'll unravel 25 incredible myths of Anubis, each one shedding light on his divine power, his complex role in Egyptian culture, and his enduring legacy as the protector of the dead. From his invention of mummification to his judgments in the weighing of the heart, these stories will take you on a journey through the ancient beliefs that shaped the understanding of life, death, and what lies beyond. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets of Anubis, the god who walked the line between worlds and held the keys to eternity. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why Anubis was so revered, but also see how his myths continue to captivate and inspire us today. Let's begin the journey into the myths of the god of death. Now, let's step into the realm of Anubis' divine origins, where the threads of myth and mystery intertwine. One of the most fascinating aspects of Anubis is the question of his parentage, a topic that has sparked countless stories and interpretations. In some tales, Anubis is said to be the son of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Nephthys, the goddess of mourning and protection. This version of the myth portrays Nephthys as disguising herself as Isis, Osiris' wife, to conceive Anubis in secret. When the truth was revealed, Isis, known for her compassion, took Anubis under her wing, raising him as her own. This connection to Osiris, the central figure in the afterlife, deeply influenced Anubis' role as a guide and protector of the dead. But the stories don't end there. Another version of the myth suggests that Anubis was born to Nephthys and Set, the god of chaos and disorder. This lineage would seem at odds with Anubis' role as a guardian of order and justice in the afterlife, yet it highlights the complexity of his character. Some believe that this duality, being tied to both order and chaos, gave Anubis a unique perspective, allowing him to navigate the delicate balance between life and death with wisdom and impartiality. These conflicting tales of his parentage not only add depth to Anubis' identity, but also shaped his divine responsibilities. As the son of Osiris, he became intrinsically linked to the rituals of death and rebirth, while his connection to Nephthys emphasized his role as a protector of the deceased. Together, these stories paint a picture of a deity who embodies both the solemnity of death and the hope of eternal life. Next, we'll explore how these origins set the stage for one of Anubis' most defining roles, the weighing of the heart ceremony, where he determined the fate of souls in the afterlife. Moving deeper into the myth surrounding Anubis, we arrive at one of his most iconic responsibilities, the weighing of the heart ceremony. This sacred ritual was the ultimate test for souls seeking entry into the afterlife, a moment where Anubis played a decisive role in determining their fate. At the heart of this ceremony was a pair of scales, a powerful symbol of justice and balance. On one side of the scales, the heart of the deceased was placed, representing their actions, intentions, and moral character during life. On the other side rested the feather of Mat, the goddess of truth, harmony, and cosmic order. The feather symbolized the ideal standard of purity and righteousness that every soul was expected to uphold. Anubis, as the overseer of this process, stood as the impartial judge, carefully ensuring that the scales remained balanced. If the heart was lighter than or equal to the feather, it meant the soul had lived a life in alignment with Mat's principles, and they were deemed worthy of eternal peace. However, if the heart was heavier, weighed down by wrongdoing, the soul faced a grim fate. In this case, it was said to be devoured by Ammit, a fearsome creature known as the devourer of the dead, which would condemn the soul to non-existence. The significance of this ceremony extended far beyond the fate of individual souls. It reflected the ancient Egyptians' profound belief in the importance of moral integrity and the eternal consequences of one's actions. Anubis' role in this ritual underscored his position as a guardian of justice, ensuring that no soul could escape the truth of their deeds. His connection to Maat highlighted the inseparable link between death, judgment, and the maintenance of cosmic order. This myth not only solidified Anubis' reputation as a fair and just deity, but also reinforced the idea that death was not an end but a transition, a journey where one's life was ultimately weighed and measured. Next, we'll explore how Anubis' mastery of mummification became a cornerstone of this journey, preserving the body to ensure the soul's safe passage into the afterlife. Turning to another pivotal chapter in Anubis' story, we uncover the origins of mummification, a practice that forever linked him to the preservation of the dead. This myth begins with the tragic tale of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, who was murdered by his brother Set. After Osiris' body was dismembered and scattered across Egypt, it was Anubis who stepped in to restore and protect it. Guided by wisdom and divine skill, Anubis carefully reassembled Osiris' remains, wrapping them in linen bandages and anointing them with sacred oils and resins. This process, which came to be known as mummification, was not just a practical act but a deeply spiritual one, ensuring that Osiris could be reborn in the afterlife. Anubis' role in this myth transformed him into the god of embalming, a title that carried immense significance in ancient Egyptian culture. Mummification became a cornerstone of funeral practices, believed to preserve the physical form so the soul could recognize and inhabit it in the afterlife. The rituals were meticulous, often taking 70 days to complete, and involved priests who acted as Anubis' earthly representatives. These priests wore masks resembling Anubis' jackal head during the embalming process, symbolizing their connection to the god and their role in guiding the deceased to eternal life. The significance of mummification extended beyond the physical preservation of the body. It was a sacred act of devotion, ensuring that the deceased could navigate the dangers of the underworld and achieve immortality. Anubis' invention of this practice highlighted his dual role as both a protector and a guide, one who safeguarded the dead while preparing them for their journey beyond. This myth not only cemented Anubis' place in the pantheon of Egyptian gods, but also underscored the profound respect the ancient Egyptians held for the rituals surrounding death and rebirth. As we continue, we'll delve into how Anubis' role as a guardian extended beyond the embalming chamber, as he became the protector of tombs and burial sites, shielding the dead from harm in both the physical and spiritual realms. Moving deeper into Anubis' sacred duties, we now explore his role as the guardian of tombs and burial sites, a responsibility that solidified his place as a protector of the dead. In ancient Egypt, tombs were not just resting places for the deceased but sacred spaces that housed their physical remains and treasures needed for the afterlife. Anubis was believed to stand watch over these sites, shielding them from grave robbers and malevolent spirits that sought to disturb the eternal peace of the dead. His presence was invoked through rituals and prayers, ensuring that the deceased remained safe and undisturbed in their journey to the afterlife. Priests and family members would often perform ceremonies at tombs, calling upon Anubis to bless the site with his protection. These rituals included offerings of food, incense, and libations, symbolizing the community's respect for the dead and their trust in Anubis' guardianship. In some cases, protective spells and inscriptions were carved into the tomb walls, invoking Anubis by name to repel any intruders, whether human or supernatural. The belief in Anubis' protection extended beyond the physical realm. It was thought that his divine power could ward off evil spirits that might attempt to harm the soul of the deceased, ensuring that they could proceed safely through the trials of the underworld. This dual-role guardian of both the body and the soul highlighted Anubis' importance as a deity who bridged the gap between life and death. As we move forward, we'll uncover how Anubis' guidance continued into the afterlife itself, where he played a crucial role in leading souls through the treacherous paths of the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. Turning our attention to the mysteries of the afterlife, we now delve into the myth of Anubis' role in guiding souls through the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. This treacherous realm was believed to be a labyrinth of trials and dangers, where the soul faced tests to prove its worthiness for eternal peace. Anubis, as the guide of the dead, played a pivotal role in ensuring that souls navigated this perilous journey successfully. The Duat was said to be filled with obstacles, from menacing creatures to deceptive paths designed to trap the unprepared. Souls had to pass through gates guarded by fearsome deities, each demanding the correct names and spells to proceed. It was here that Anubis' knowledge and compassion became essential. He provided guidance, helping souls remember the necessary incantations and offering protection against the underworld's threats. One of the most significant challenges was the weighing of the heart ceremony, which took place in the Hall of Two Truths. Anubis, alongside Maat, the goddess of truth and justice, oversaw this crucial moment. He ensured that the scales were balanced fairly, determining whether the soul could continue its journey or face annihilation. His presence brought reassurance to the deceased, knowing they were in the hands of a just and caring guide. Beyond the trials, Anubis' role extended to offering comfort to souls as they faced the unknown. He was seen as a mediator between the living and the dead, a figure who could ease the transition from life to the afterlife. This compassionate aspect of his character made him not just a guide but a guardian of hope, ensuring that no soul was left to wander the Duat alone. As we explore further, we'll uncover how Anubis' connection to the jackal, his sacred animal, symbolized his unique role as both a protector and a guide. Now, let's explore one of the most iconic aspects of Anubis, his jackal form. This powerful symbol is deeply intertwined with his identity as a god of death and protection. The jackal, a creature often seen prowling the edges of deserts and cemeteries in ancient Egypt, became a natural representation of the boundary between life and death. Anubis' choice to take on this form was no accident. It reflected his role as a guardian of the dead, always watching over the transition from this world to the next. The jackal's association with cemeteries was both practical and symbolic. These animals were frequently spotted near burial sites, scavenging for food. Over time, the ancient Egyptians came to see them not as mere scavengers but as protectors of the sacred spaces where the dead rested. Anubis, in his jackal form, embodied this duality. He was both a symbol of death, guiding souls to the afterlife, and a protector, ensuring that the dead were safe from harm. Interestingly, the jackal's black fur also held deep meaning. Black was a color often linked to rebirth and the fertile soil of the Nile, which brought life to the land after the annual flood. Anubis' black jackal form, therefore, wasn't just a sign of death but also a promise of renewal. It reminded the ancient Egyptians that death was not an end but a transition to something new. This unique blend of traits, guardianship, death, and rebirth, made Anubis' jackal form a profoundly powerful symbol. It reassured the living that their loved ones were in capable hands, protected by a deity who understood both the mysteries of the afterlife and the importance of honoring the dead. Moving forward, we'll delve into how Anubis' connection to the jackal extended even further, shaping his role in overseeing the sacred rituals of mummification and the afterlife. Now, let's turn our attention to another fascinating aspect of Anubis' role in the afterlife: his connection to the four sons of Horus. These four deities, each linked to a specific organ, played a crucial part in the ancient Egyptian funerary process. Their primary duty was to guard the canopic jars, which held the preserved internal organs of the deceased. These jars were essential for ensuring the body's completeness in the afterlife, as the Egyptians believed the soul needed all its parts to achieve eternal peace. Anubis, as the god of embalming and the afterlife, oversaw the protection and preservation of these sacred vessels. he ensured that the four sons of Horus carried out their duties meticulously, safeguarding the organs and, by extension, the soul's journey. Each of the four sons had a specific role. Hapi protected the lungs, Imseti guarded the liver, Duamutef looked after the stomach, and Kebesenuf was responsible for the intestines. Together, they worked under Anubis' guidance to maintain the integrity of the deceased's body and soul. This collaboration between Anubis and the four sons of Horus highlights the interconnectedness of Egyptian mythology. Anubis, the guardian of the dead, ensured that every step of the funerary process was carried out with precision and reverence. The four sons of Horus, in turn, provided their specialized protection, emphasizing the importance of every part of the body in the journey to the afterlife. By overseeing this process, Anubis reinforced his role as a meticulous and compassionate deity. He didn't just guide souls through the afterlife, he also ensured that every detail of the funerary rituals was honored. This attention to detail reassured the ancient Egyptians that their loved ones were in capable hands, even in the most complex aspects of the journey. As we continue, we'll uncover another layer of Anubis myth, where his protective nature extends to shielding the dead from unexpected dangers in the afterlife. Turning our gaze to another intriguing facet of Anubis' story, we find him teaming up with Serqet, the ancient Egyptian scorpion goddess. This partnership reveals a lesser-known yet equally fascinating aspect of Anubis' role in the afterlife. Serqet, often depicted with a scorpion atop her head, was revered as a protector against venomous creatures and harmful forces. Her presence in the underworld was vital, as the ancient Egyptians believed that the deceased could encounter dangerous serpents, scorpions, and other venomous beings in their journey through the Duat. Anubis, as the guardian of the dead, recognized the need for additional protection against these threats. Together with Serqet, he ensured that souls traveling through the afterlife were shielded from harm. Serqet's power over venomous creatures made her the perfect ally for Anubis, as she could neutralize any danger posed by these beings. This collaboration highlights the Egyptians' belief in a well-ordered and safeguarded journey to the afterlife, where every potential obstacle was addressed with divine intervention. The myth of Anubis and Serqet also underscores the interconnectedness of Egyptian deities, each contributing their unique abilities to serve a greater purpose. Anubis' role as a guide and protector was amplified by Serqet's expertise in dealing with venomous threats, ensuring that the dead could navigate the afterlife without fear. This partnership reflects the ancient Egyptians' meticulous approach to death and the afterlife, where every detail was considered to ensure a safe and successful passage. By working with Serqet, Anubis demonstrated his unwavering commitment to the dead, going beyond his traditional duties to provide comprehensive protection. This myth not only enriches our understanding of Anubis, but also sheds light on the multifaceted nature of Egyptian mythology, where deities often collaborated to achieve a common goal. As we delve further, we'll uncover yet another layer of Anubis' enduring legacy, where his compassion and vigilance continue to shape the afterlife in unexpected ways. Shifting our focus to another captivating aspect of Anubis mythology, we encounter the myth of the black dog. In this intriguing belief, Anubis is said to have taken the form of a black dog to guide lost souls through the treacherous paths of the afterlife. The black dog, a powerful and mysterious figure, embodied Anubis' dual role as both a guardian and a guide, offering direction and protection to those who had strayed from their destined path. The color black held profound significance in ancient Egyptian culture, symbolizing the fertile soil of the Nile and the promise of rebirth. For Anubis, black was not merely a color of mourning but a representation of transformation and renewal. By appearing as a black dog, Anubis connected the concepts of death and rebirth, emphasizing the cyclical nature of existence. The black dog became a beacon of hope for lost souls, a symbol that even in the darkest moments, guidance and renewal were within reach. This myth also highlights the Egyptians' deep respect for animals, particularly those associated with death and the afterlife. The black dog, with its protective and loyal nature, mirrored Anubis' own qualities, reinforcing his role as a compassionate deity who ensured no soul was left behind. The imagery of the black dog continues to resonate in modern interpretations of Anubis, reminding us of his enduring legacy as a guide through the mysteries of life and death. As we move forward, we'll uncover yet another layer of Anubis' multifaceted mythology, where his wisdom and vigilance continue to shape the ancient Egyptian understanding of the afterlife. Now, let us turn to another remarkable story in the mythology of Anubis, one that underscores his deep compassion and unwavering dedication to the dead. This is the myth of the lost soul, a tale that reveals Anubis not only as a guide and protector, but also as a rescuer of those who find themselves trapped in the underworld. In this story, a soul, overwhelmed by fear and confusion, strayed from the path laid out by the gods and became trapped in the darkest recesses of the Duat. Unable to find its way back, the soul cried out for help, its voice echoing in the vast emptiness of the underworld. It was then that Anubis, ever watchful and attuned to the needs of the dead, heard the plea. Without hesitation, he descended into the depths, using his keen senses to locate the lost soul. Once found, Anubis guided the soul with patience and care, bringing it back to the path of judgment. He did not scold or punish the soul for its missteps. Instead, he offered reassurance and comfort, embodying the role of a compassionate guardian. This act of rescue highlights a crucial aspect of Anubis' character, his belief that no soul, no matter how lost or forgotten, should be left behind. This myth also emphasizes the Egyptians' belief in Anubis as a tireless protector of the dead. Even in the most chaotic and daunting corners of the underworld, his presence brought hope and order. The story serves as a reminder that the journey through the afterlife was not one to be undertaken alone, and that Anubis was always there to ensure every soul reached its rightful destination. As we continue to explore the many facets of Anubis mythology, this tale stands out as a testament to his enduring role as a compassionate and vigilant guide, one who ensured that the dead were never truly lost. Now, shifting our focus, we encounter a fascinating tale that highlights Anubis' unwavering commitment to justice in the afterlife. This is the myth of the false judgment, a story that reveals Anubis not only as a guide but also as a fair and impartial judge of souls. In this myth, a soul arrived at the Hall of Judgment, where Anubis presided over the weighing of the heart ceremony. The heart of the deceased was placed on the scales against the feather of Maat, the symbol of truth and order. As the process unfolded, Anubis noticed something unusual. The scales did not behave as they should. Instead of balancing, they tipped in favor of the heart, suggesting the soul had lived a life of purity and righteousness. But Anubis, with his keen perception and deep understanding of the divine laws, sensed deception at play. Upon closer examination, Anubis discovered that the heart had been tampered with. Certain sins and wrongdoings had been erased, and virtues that the soul had never truly possessed had been falsely inscribed. This manipulation was an attempt to deceive the gods and secure an undeserved place in the afterlife. Anubis, however, was not fooled. With calm authority, he exposed the false judgment, restoring the heart to its true state. The scales were rebalanced, and the soul's fate was determined by its actual deeds, not the fabricated ones. This act of justice underscored Anubis' role as an impartial arbiter who ensured that every soul was judged fairly, without favor or prejudice. This myth also reflects the ancient Egyptians' belief in the importance of truth and integrity, not only in life but also in death. It reinforced the idea that no one could escape the consequences of their actions, as Anubis' vigilance guaranteed that justice was served. As we move forward in our exploration of Anubis myths, this story stands as a powerful reminder of his dedication to maintaining order and fairness in the afterlife, ensuring that the scales of justice were never tipped by deceit. Now, as we journey deeper into the myths surrounding Anubis, we come across a belief that underscores his enduring role as a protector of the dead, the myth of the eternal guardian. Ancient Egyptians held a profound conviction that Anubis did not merely guide souls to the afterlife and then step aside. Instead, he remained a vigilant guardian, watching over the deceased for eternity, ensuring their safe passage and protection even after thousands of years had passed. This myth reflects the Egyptians' deep reverence for the dead and their belief in the eternal nature of the soul. Anubis was seen as a constant presence, a divine figure who stood as a barrier between the dead and any forces that might threaten their peace. Whether it was evil spirits, grave robbers, or the passage of time itself, Anubis was believed to shield the deceased from harm, ensuring their eternal rest remained undisturbed. Interestingly, this belief also extended to the physical world. Tombs and burial sites were considered sacred spaces, and Anubis was thought to be their eternal overseer. Rituals and prayers were often performed to invoke his protection, and inscriptions on tomb walls frequently called upon him to guard the dead. This connection between Anubis and the physical resting places of the deceased further emphasized his role as a timeless protector. What makes this myth particularly compelling is its focus on the enduring nature of Anubis' dedication. Unlike other gods who might intervene only during specific moments, Anubis was seen as a constant, unwavering presence. His commitment to the dead was not bound by time or circumstance, and this idea offered great comfort to the living, who could rest assured that their loved ones were safe in his care. As we continue to explore the many facets of Anubis, this myth serves as a powerful reminder of his role as more than just a guide. He was a guardian, a protector, and a steadfast presence who ensured that the journey of the soul did not end with death but continued eternally, safeguarded by his watchful eye. Shifting our focus to a lesser-known yet fascinating aspect of Anubis, we uncover the myth of his secret name. According to ancient Egyptian beliefs, Anubis possessed a name that was known only to him and the gods, a name so powerful that it granted him ultimate authority over life and death. This secret name was not just a title but a source of divine strength, embodying the essence of his role as a god who presided over the afterlife. In Egyptian mythology, names held immense significance. They were not merely labels but representations of one's identity, power, and destiny. To know someone's true name was to wield control over them, as it contained the very core of their being. This belief extended to the gods, whose secret names were considered the keys to their abilities and influence. Anubis' secret name, therefore, was a symbol of his unparalleled authority and a safeguard against any force that might challenge his role. The myth also highlights the sacred nature of knowledge in Egyptian culture. Secret names were closely guarded, passed down only through specific rituals or divine revelations. For Anubis, his hidden name was a testament to his role as a protector of the dead and a keeper of the mysteries of the afterlife. It reinforced his position as a figure who operated beyond the understanding of mortals, ensuring that the balance between life and death remained intact. What makes this myth particularly intriguing is its reflection of the broader Egyptian belief in the power of language and words. Names were thought to have the ability to shape reality, and the act of speaking or invoking them could bring about profound change. Anubis' secret name, then, was not just a mark of his power but a reminder of the sacred connection between language, the divine, and the forces that govern existence. As we delve deeper into the myths of Anubis, this tale of his secret name offers a glimpse into the complex layers of Egyptian spirituality. It underscores the idea that power, in its truest form, often resides in the unseen and the unknown, a concept that continues to captivate and inspire even today. Now, let's turn our attention to a chilling yet compelling myth involving Anubis and the restless spirits known as revenants. In this tale, Anubis steps in to prevent these vengeful entities from terrorizing the living, showcasing his unique role as a mediator between the two realms. Revenants in Egyptian mythology were spirits who, for various reasons, could not find peace in the afterlife, whether due to unfinished business, improper burial rites, or a lingering desire for vengeance. These restless souls often returned to the world of the living, causing chaos and fear. It was here that Anubis intervened, using his authority and wisdom to guide these spirits back to their rightful place in the underworld. This myth emphasizes Anubis' compassionate yet firm nature. While he was the god of death, his duty extended beyond simply guiding souls to the afterlife. He ensured that the balance between the living and the dead remained intact, protecting both realms from disruption. By calming and redirecting revenants, Anubis demonstrated his role as a guardian of order, ensuring that the boundaries between worlds were respected. The story also highlights the importance of proper burial rituals in ancient Egyptian culture. It was believed that if a person's body was not treated with care or if their soul was not adequately prepared for the afterlife, they could become one of these restless spirits. Anubis' intervention served as a reminder of the sacredness of these traditions and the consequences of neglecting them. What makes this myth particularly fascinating is its portrayal of Anubis as a mediator. He wasn't just a judge or a guide, but a figure who actively worked to maintain harmony between the living and the dead. This duality, balancing compassion for the lost with the need to preserve order, further deepened his significance in Egyptian mythology. As we reflect on this tale, it becomes clear that Anubis was more than a god of death. He was a protector, a peacekeeper, and a bridge between worlds, ensuring that both the living and the dead could coexist in balance. This myth not only adds another layer to his complex character, but also offers a timeless lesson about the importance of respect and care for those who have passed on. With this story of the Revenant, we see yet another dimension of Anubis' enduring legacy, a testament to his multifaceted role in the ancient Egyptian worldview. Next, we'll explore another intriguing aspect of his mythology as we continue to unravel the incredible stories surrounding this enigmatic god. Moving forward, we encounter one of the most chilling and widely known aspects of Anubis' influence, the myth of the pharaoh's curse. In ancient Egyptian belief, tombs were sacred spaces carefully designed to safeguard the dead and ensure their peaceful journey to the afterlife. To protect these resting places from desecration, curses were often inscribed on tomb walls, warning of dire consequences for anyone who disturbed them. Anubis, as the god of death and guardian of the dead, was believed to enforce these curses, ensuring that the sanctity of the tombs remained unbroken. One of the most famous examples of these curses is the legend surrounding the tomb of Tutankhamun. When his tomb was discovered in the early 20th century, a series of mysterious deaths and misfortunes plagued those involved in the excavation. While modern explanations attribute these events to coincidence or natural causes, many at the time believed it was the result of the pharaoh's curse brought to life by Anubis himself. This tale captured the imagination of the world, reinforcing the idea that disturbing the dead came with severe consequences. The power of these curses was not limited to Tutankhamun's tomb. Many pharaohs and nobles had similar inscriptions in their burial chambers, often invoking Anubis as the enforcer of these warnings. These curses ranged from simple threats of misfortune to elaborate declarations of eternal punishment. They served as a deterrent to grave robbers and a reminder of the sacredness of the afterlife, a realm governed by Anubis' unwavering authority. Anubis' role in enforcing these curses highlights his position as a protector of the dead. He was not just a guide or a judge, but also a guardian who ensured that the resting places of the deceased remained undisturbed. This belief underscores the ancient Egyptians' deep respect for the dead and their firm conviction that the afterlife was a sacred, untouchable domain. The myth of the pharaoh's curse also reflects the cultural significance of Anubis in maintaining order. By upholding these curses, he reinforced the boundaries between the living and the dead, ensuring that the natural balance of the world remained intact. Even today, these tales continue to fascinate, reminding us of the enduring legacy of Anubis as a deity who guarded both the physical and spiritual realms. As we explore this myth, we see how Anubis' role extended beyond the afterlife, influencing the world of the living through the enforcement of these ancient curses. Next, we'll delve into another captivating aspect of his mythology, further uncovering the many layers of this enigmatic god. Shifting our focus to a symbol of profound significance, we now explore the myth of Anubis and the golden scales. These scales were not just a tool but a sacred instrument believed to be indestructible, crafted to weigh the hearts of the deceased with absolute precision. In the weighing of the heart ceremony, the golden scales served as the ultimate judge of a soul's purity, determining whether one could enter the afterlife or face eternal oblivion. The scales were so powerful that they were said to be capable of judging even the mightiest rulers and gods, reflecting Anubis' impartiality and unwavering commitment to justice. The symbolism of the golden scales runs deep in ancient Egyptian culture. Gold, associated with eternity and divinity, represented the incorruptible nature of Anubis' judgment. The scales themselves embodied balance and order, core principles of Maat, the goddess of truth and harmony. By using the golden scales, Anubis ensured that every soul was evaluated fairly, reinforcing the belief that no one, regardless of their status in life, could escape the consequences of their actions. This myth also highlights Anubis' role as a mediator between the mortal and divine realms. The golden scales were not just a symbol of judgment but also a reminder of the interconnectedness of life and death. They emphasized that every deed, every choice had weight and would ultimately be measured against the feather of truth. This concept resonated deeply with the ancient Egyptians, who strived to live in alignment with Maat to secure their place in the afterlife. The golden scales also served as a powerful metaphor for the moral responsibilities of the living. They reminded people that their actions would be scrutinized in death, encouraging them to lead virtuous lives. This belief in a just and fair afterlife overseen by Anubis offered comfort and hope, assuring that those who lived with integrity would be rewarded in the beyond. As we reflect on this myth, we see how Anubis' golden scales transcended their role as a divine tool to become a symbol of universal truth and justice. They remind us that the principles of balance and fairness are timeless, echoing Anubis' enduring legacy as a guardian of both the dead and the moral order. Next, we'll uncover another fascinating aspect of his mythology, further illuminating the multifaceted nature of this enigmatic god. Now let's turn our attention to a lesser-known but equally captivating myth of Anubis and the eternal flame. This eternal flame was said to burn without end, representing the immortal nature of the soul and its journey through the afterlife. Anubis, as the guardian of this flame, ensured it never extinguished, symbolizing his role as a protector of the soul's eternal essence. For the ancient Egyptians, fire held deep spiritual significance, often associated with purification, transformation, and the divine. The eternal flame under Anubis' watch became a powerful emblem of the soul's unending cycle of death and rebirth. This myth underscores the belief that the soul, much like the flame, was eternal and indestructible. Just as the flame burned continuously, the soul was thought to persist beyond physical death, embarking on a journey through the afterlife toward renewal. Anubis' guardianship of the flame reinforced his role as a guide and protector, ensuring that the soul's essence remained intact as it transitioned into the next phase of existence. The eternal flame also served as a reminder of the interconnectedness of life, death, and rebirth. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, these concepts were not viewed as separate but as part of a continuous cycle. The flame's unceasing burn mirrored the endless nature of this cycle, with Anubis overseeing the soul's transformation and guiding it toward its next incarnation. This belief offered comfort to the living, assuring them that death was not an end but a passage to a new beginning. Moreover, the eternal flame was a symbol of hope and continuity. It represented the idea that the soul's journey was not confined to a single lifetime but extended across eternity. Anubis, as the keeper of this flame, embodied the promise of renewal and the assurance that the soul would always find its way back to the divine. This myth highlights Anubis' multifaceted role as a guardian, guide, and protector, emphasizing his importance in the spiritual beliefs of ancient Egypt. As we explore this myth, we gain a deeper understanding of Anubis' connection to the eternal nature of the soul and the cyclical process of death and rebirth. The eternal flame stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of Anubis and his role in guiding souls through the mysteries of the afterlife. Next, we'll uncover another intriguing aspect of Anubis mythology, shedding light on his celestial connections and their significance in ancient Egyptian culture. Another fascinating aspect of Anubis mythology unfolds as we explore the myth of the starry path. This belief paints a vivid picture of Anubis guiding souls through a celestial highway to the afterlife, a journey illuminated by the shimmering light of the stars. In ancient Egyptian beliefs, the night sky was more than just a canvas of lights. It was a map of the divine, with each star representing a guiding beacon for the souls of the departed. Anubis, as the celestial guide, was believed to lead souls along this starry path, ensuring they navigated the complexities of the afterlife with safety and purpose. This myth not only highlights Anubis' role as a protector, but also underscores the profound connection between the heavens and the spiritual journey of the dead. The stars were seen as eternal witnesses to the soul's passage, their unchanging nature symbolizing the immortality of the spirit. For the ancient Egyptians, this celestial guidance offered reassurance that even in the vast, unknown expanse of the afterlife, the soul was never truly lost. The starry path became a metaphor for hope, continuity, and the divine order that governed the universe. Anubis, as the keeper of this path, embodied the harmony between the earthly and the celestial, bridging the gap between life and the eternal. As we reflect on this myth, we gain a deeper appreciation for the rich symbolism woven into Egyptian cosmology and the enduring legacy of Anubis as a guide through the mysteries of the afterlife. Next, we'll delve into another captivating tale, revealing yet another layer of Anubis' divine influence. Now, let us turn our attention to a pivotal moment in Anubis' divine legacy, the myth of the first mummy. This story tells of how Anubis, in an act of profound compassion and ingenuity, created the first mummy as a gift to humanity. According to ancient tales, when Osiris was slain by his brother Set, his body was dismembered and scattered across Egypt. It was Anubis who stepped forward, gathering the pieces of Osiris and meticulously reassembling them. Using his divine knowledge and skill, Anubis invented the art of embalming, preserving Osiris' body and ensuring it would not decay. This act of preservation was no ordinary feat. It was a sacred ritual that granted Osiris eternal life in the afterlife. By creating the first mummy, Anubis not only honored Osiris but also bestowed upon humanity the knowledge of mummification, a practice that would become central to Egyptian culture and beliefs about the afterlife. This myth elevated Anubis to the status of the patron god of embalming, a role that underscored his connection to death, preservation, and the eternal journey of the soul. Through this tale, we see Anubis not just as a guide or protector but as a teacher, sharing the sacred arts that bridge the gap between mortality and immortality. The invention of mummification became a testament to Anubis' wisdom and his enduring commitment to the dead, ensuring their safe passage into the afterlife for generations to come. This myth not only cements his role in Egyptian mythology, but also highlights the profound impact of his divine gifts on the cultural and spiritual practices of ancient Egypt. Next, we'll uncover yet another intriguing chapter in the life of Anubis, shedding light on his unwavering dedication to the dead. Now, let us journey into another lesser known yet deeply moving myth about Anubis, the tale of the forgotten tomb. In this story, Anubis' unwavering dedication to the dead takes center stage. Legends recount how, in the vast and ancient deserts of Egypt, a nobleman's tomb had been lost to time, buried beneath layers of sand and neglect. For centuries, the soul of the nobleman wandered in the underworld, unable to find peace, as his body had not been granted the proper burial rites required for eternal rest. It was Anubis who, in his role as the vigilant guardian of the dead, sensed the unrest of this forgotten soul. Guided by his divine intuition, Anubis ventured into the depths of the desert, determined to uncover the lost tomb. With his jackal-like instincts, he traced the faint echoes of the nobleman's plea, leading him to the hidden burial site. Upon discovering the tomb, Anubis performed the sacred rituals of purification and embalming, ensuring the nobleman's body was preserved and honored. He then conducted the funeral rites, allowing the soul to finally ascend to the afterlife. This myth underscores Anubis' profound commitment to every soul, no matter how long they had been forgotten by the living. It also highlights the importance of proper burial practices in ancient Egyptian culture, as they were believed to be essential for the soul's journey to the afterlife. Through this story, we see Anubis not only as a protector but as a restorer of dignity, ensuring that no soul was left behind in the shadows of neglect. His actions in this tale remind us of his eternal role as a compassionate guide, dedicated to the eternal well-being of the dead. Next, we will explore another fascinating aspect of Anubis' legacy, revealing yet another layer of his multifaceted role in Egyptian mythology. Turning our gaze upward to the stars, we uncover another captivating aspect of Anubis' legacy, the myth of the celestial jackal. Ancient Egyptians believed that Anubis' jackal form was immortalized in the night sky as a constellation. This celestial representation symbolized his eternal role as a guardian and guide, watching over both the living and the dead from the heavens. The jackal constellation, often associated with the stars we now know as part of the modern constellation Canis Major, was seen as a divine reminder of Anubis' presence. It was thought that his celestial form not only protected the souls of the departed, but also served as a navigational marker for those journeying through the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. This connection between Anubis and astronomy highlights the profound way ancient Egyptians integrated their mythology with the natural world. The stars were more than just lights in the sky, they were sacred symbols embodying the gods and their powers. Anubis' celestial jackal reinforced the belief that death was not an end but a transition, guided by divine forces even in the vast expanse of the cosmos. This myth further emphasizes the enduring nature of Anubis' role, bridging the earthly and the celestial and reminding us of his timeless influence. As we continue to explore the myths of Anubis, we'll delve into yet another fascinating tale that reveals the depth of his wisdom and compassion. Shifting our focus to the realm of sacred promises, we encounter the intriguing myth of Anubis and the sacred oath. In ancient Egyptian belief, Anubis played a pivotal role in ensuring that souls upheld their vows in the afterlife. These oaths were not mere words but binding commitments, thought to carry immense spiritual weight. It was said that Anubis himself would oversee the swearing of these sacred promises, often during the soul's journey through the Duat. Breaking such an oath was considered a grave offense, one that could derail a soul's progress toward eternal peace. Anubis, as the enforcer of these oaths, ensured that justice was served, often imposing consequences that ranged from prolonged trials in the underworld to the denial of entry into the afterlife altogether. This myth underscores Anubis' dual role as both a compassionate guide and a stern arbiter of divine law. It also highlights the ancient Egyptian emphasis on truth, integrity, and the sacred nature of one's word. The idea of a sacred oath reinforced the belief that actions in life, and even in death, had far-reaching consequences, with Anubis standing as the ultimate guardian of these moral principles. As we move forward, we'll uncover another layer of Anubis' duties that further solidifies his role as a protector and judge in the realm of the dead. Now, let's delve into one of the most enigmatic aspects of Anubis, his role as the guardian of secrets. In the vast tapestry of Egyptian mythology, Anubis was not only a guide and judge, but also a keeper of profound and hidden knowledge about the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians believed that the mysteries of the beyond were not meant for the living to fully comprehend. These secrets, which included the workings of the Duat, the rituals of resurrection, and the true nature of eternal life, were safeguarded by Anubis with unwavering vigilance. His role as a protector of these sacred truths reinforced the idea that the afterlife was a realm of profound mystery, meant to be experienced rather than understood. The knowledge Anubis held was considered both powerful and dangerous, as it had the potential to disrupt the natural order if revealed. This belief highlights the ancient Egyptians' deep respect for the boundaries between life and death, as well as their trust in Anubis to maintain that balance. The myth of the guardian of secrets also emphasizes Anubis' wisdom and his ability to navigate the complexities of the afterlife with unparalleled insight. By keeping these mysteries hidden, Anubis ensured that the journey of the soul remained sacred and untainted by human curiosity. This aspect of his mythology adds another layer to his multifaceted role, portraying him not just as a guide or judge, but as a custodian of the profound and the unknown. As we continue, we'll explore how Anubis' role extends even further into the realm of eternal judgment and the final passage into the afterlife. In the next chapter of Anubis' story, we encounter his role as the eternal judge of souls, a responsibility that underscores his dedication to fairness and justice. At the heart of this myth lies the belief that Anubis was tasked with evaluating the deeds of every soul that passed through the afterlife. Unlike mortal systems of justice, which could be swayed by bias or error, Anubis was seen as the ultimate arbiter, impartial and unerring in his judgments. This idea reinforced the ancient Egyptians' conviction that the afterlife was a place of perfect balance, where every action in life was weighed with precision. The myth of the eternal judge also highlights Anubis' wisdom, as he was believed to possess an unparalleled understanding of human nature and the complexities of morality. His decisions were not merely about punishment or reward, but about ensuring that each soul's journey reflected its true essence. This aspect of Anubis mythology paints him as a figure of both authority and compassion, someone who could discern the subtleties of a soul's life and guide it toward its rightful place in the afterlife. By embodying the principles of fairness and wisdom, Anubis became a symbol of hope for those who sought justice beyond the mortal realm. His role as the eternal judge also served to remind the living of the importance of moral integrity, knowing that their actions would one day be scrutinized by an unwavering divine presence. As we move forward, we'll see how this role connects to Anubis' guardianship of the final gate, where the ultimate fate of each soul was determined. Now, as we venture deeper into the realm of Anubis, we come to the myth of the final gate, a pivotal moment in the journey of every soul. In ancient Egyptian belief, this gate represented the last barrier between the mortal world and the eternal afterlife. It was here that Anubis stood as the ultimate guardian, tasked with deciding who could pass through and achieve eternal peace. This gate was not just a physical barrier, but a profound symbol of transition, marking the boundary between life and death, chaos and order. Anubis' role at the final gate was one of immense responsibility. He evaluated each soul's readiness, ensuring that only those who had been deemed worthy through the weighing of the heart ceremony could proceed. His presence at this threshold embodied the ancient Egyptians' belief in the importance of moral purity and spiritual preparedness. Gates in Egyptian mythology were more than mere entrances. They were powerful symbols of transformation and protection. They signified the crossing into sacred spaces, whether it was the afterlife, a temple, or the realm of the gods. The final gate, guarded by Anubis, was the ultimate test, a place where the soul's journey reached its climax. This myth reinforces the idea that the afterlife was not a place of random chance, but a carefully structured process governed by divine justice. Anubis, with his unwavering judgment and compassion, ensured that the souls who passed through the final gate were truly ready for the eternal peace that awaited them. His guardianship of this sacred boundary highlights his dual role as both a protector and a guide, a figure who not only enforced the rules of the afterlife, but also offered hope and reassurance to those who sought to cross over. As we move forward, we'll explore how Anubis' role in the cycle of death and rebirth further cements his legacy as a god of profound wisdom and eternal significance. As we turn our attention to the myth of the rebirth cycle, we uncover another layer of Anubis' profound influence over the mysteries of life and death. In ancient Egyptian belief, death was not seen as an end but as a transition into a new beginning, a cycle that repeated eternally. At the heart of this belief was Anubis, who played a crucial role in overseeing this perpetual journey of renewal. His connection to the rebirth cycle was deeply intertwined with the natural order. Just as the sun sets only to rise again, so too did the soul undergo transformation. Anubis ensured that each soul was prepared for this transition, guiding them through the rituals and trials that would lead to their eventual rebirth. This myth highlights the Egyptians' understanding of life as a continuous loop, where death was merely a doorway to renewal. Anubis' role in this process was not just as a guardian but as a facilitator of transformation, embodying the idea that every end is a precursor to a new beginning. The cyclical nature of life, mirrored in the seasons, the flow of the Nile, and the movements of the stars, was central to their worldview, and Anubis stood as a divine symbol of this eternal truth. His presence in the rebirth cycle reminds us that death is not a finality but a part of a greater, ongoing journey. As we continue, we'll delve into how Anubis preserved ancient rituals that nearly faded into obscurity, ensuring the traditions that honored this cycle remained alive for generations. Turning our focus to the myth of the lost rituals, we see Anubis stepping into the role of a cultural preserver. In the vast tapestry of ancient Egyptian traditions, certain burial practices began to fade over time, threatened by the passage of years and the shifting sands of history. It was here that Anubis intervened, ensuring these sacred rituals were not lost to oblivion. These practices, deeply rooted in the Egyptians' reverence for the dead, were essential to maintaining the balance between life and the afterlife. Anubis, recognizing their significance, became the guardian of these forgotten rites. Through his guidance, the rituals were revived, passed down through generations, and integrated into the fabric of Egyptian funerary customs. This myth underscores Anubis' dedication to cultural continuity, as he safeguarded the wisdom of the past for future generations. His efforts not only preserved the physical acts of embalming and burial, but also the spiritual beliefs that gave them meaning. By keeping these traditions alive, Anubis ensured that the dead were honored in the way they deserved, and the living remained connected to their ancestors. This tale reminds us of the importance of preserving cultural heritage, showing how even the smallest rituals can carry the weight of an entire civilization's values. As we move forward, we'll explore how Anubis myths continue to resonate in the modern world, shaping our understanding of life, death, and the eternal. Now, as we step into the modern world, we find Anubis' legacy enduring far beyond ancient times. The myth of the eternal protector reveals how Anubis' role has transcended the boundaries of history, continuing to inspire and influence contemporary culture. Even today, the image of Anubis as a guardian of the dead persists, finding its way into literature, art, and popular media. His iconic jackal-headed figure has become a symbol of mystery and protection, often appearing in films, books, and even video games as a representation of the afterlife's enigmatic power. Beyond entertainment, Anubis' influence can be seen in modern spiritual practices, where his role as a guide and protector resonates with those exploring themes of death and the unknown. This enduring presence speaks to the timeless nature of his mythology, bridging the gap between ancient beliefs and modern interpretations. By continuing to embody the ideals of guardianship and compassion, Anubis remains a figure of fascination and reverence, reminding us of the eternal bond between life, death, and the beyond. His myths invite us to reflect on our own relationship with mortality, offering a sense of comfort and continuity in an ever-changing world. As we conclude this exploration, it's clear that Anubis' legacy as the eternal protector is far from forgotten, continuing to shape our understanding of the mysteries that lie beyond this life. As we bring our journey through the 25 incredible myths of Anubis to a close, it's impossible not to marvel at the depth and complexity of this ancient deity. From his origins as the child of Osiris to his role as the guardian of tombs, the guide through the Duat, and the impartial judge of souls, Anubis has embodied countless facets of life, death, and the afterlife. His stories reveal a god who is not just a harbinger of death but also a compassionate protector, a wise guide, and a symbol of hope for those navigating the unknown. The myths of Anubis have shaped ancient Egyptian beliefs and rituals, offering profound insights into their understanding of mortality and the eternal journey of the soul. Yet his influence doesn't end there. Anubis' legacy has transcended time, finding new life in modern culture, where his figure continues to captivate and inspire. Whether in art, literature, or spiritual practices, his presence reminds us of the enduring power of myth to connect us with the mysteries of existence. As we reflect on these 25 extraordinary tales, we're left with a deeper appreciation for Anubis' role as a bridge between the past and the present, the living and the dead, and the known and the unknowable. His stories invite us to confront our own relationship with mortality, offering both comfort and curiosity about what lies beyond. So, as we conclude this exploration, let's carry forward the timeless lessons of Anubis, lessons of protection, guidance, and the eternal cycle of life and death. If you've enjoyed uncovering these incredible myths, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more journeys into the fascinating world of mythology. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, may Anubis guide your path.